Batman faces off with the Joker for the first time in Batman: The Man Who Laughs. What's up guys, Roman from RNS Entertainment here with another episode of Comic History, the weekly series where we talk about the iconic origins, storylines, and events in the world of comics. This week we're going to be talking about the epic Batman storyline, The Man Who Laughs, a one-shot redefining Batman's first conflict with the Joker during his first murdering spree in Gotham City, following his origin in Alan Moore's amazing Joker origin story, The Killing Joke, which is referenced in this story. The Man Who Laughs was intended to be a continuation of sorts of Frank Miller's Batman Year One, and takes place in the post-Zero Hour continuity, where after the massive DC crossover event 0 Hour, A Crisis in Time, in 1994, one of many DC crises which served to retcon or correct problems in DC's continuity, Batman's history was changed in a few ways. Post-Zero Hour Batman never found or confronted the man who murdered his parents, officially adopts Dick Grayson instead of leaving him as just his ward, and for a time when he's starting out is thought of as an urban legend, with most people of Gotham not even being sure if he exists. The Man Who Laughs starts out with Detective Jim Gordon, who had been working behind the scenes with Batman to take down gangs and remove crooked cops from the GCPD, investigating a horrific crime scene where 9 or so people were found with their faces shrunken and pulled back into hideous smiles, with their skin having turned a pallid white and their hair green. Gordon is shocked, having seen his share of combat in the military but never anything like this, and he notes that Gotham City is changing, that it had started when the costumed criminal the Red Hood, who was actually multiple people, the last of whom was the Joker in Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, had appeared, though he had disappeared after being chased into a vat of chemicals at the Ace Chemical Company by Batman. Batman appears in the shadows to Gordon, telling him that he thinks whoever did this was just practicing, and that this is only the beginning of something horrible. As Bruce Wayne, he later meets with corrupt Gotham businessman Henry Claridge, who he pretends to listen to as a news reporter goes over the dark and brutal history of Arkham Asylum, which has recently been renovated and is reopening. But as the reporter talks, she starts to cough and then laugh, looking up with her face contorted into the same twisted Joker smile the men at the warehouse had. And as she falls dead to the ground, the Joker addresses Gotham City, laughing and telling the entire city that they're going to die. But that before then, he wants to make a few personal shoutouts to people who get special deaths, the first of whom is Claridge, saying that he will die tonight exactly at midnight, firing his gun at the camera, then realizing that it was a gag bullet with a bang flag protruding from the gun, which he replaces with a real one and then shoots the cameraman in the head. Bruce, who had rushed away during the Joker's performance, utilizes the Batmobile for the first time to make it to the crime scene before the GCPD, and when Gordon arrives, he knows Batman was there first, going into the asylum and asking him what he had found. Batman points him to a room in the asylum where Joker had scrawled a poem on the wall, reading, "One by one they'll hear my call, then this wicked town will follow my fall." Batman also deduces that the Joker had killed the reporters for their mobile news van, having gained the ability to broadcast directly to all of Gotham whenever he wanted. The GCPD give Claridge special protection that night, locking down his entire building due to his wealth and influence. Batman also stakes out the building, and as the clock ticks down to midnight, Claridge nervously tries to laugh off the possibility of the murder happening. As midnight hits, Batman realizes that Claridge's laughter wasn't just nervous laughter, but the result of a time-released Joker poison that causes him to erupt in laughter while begging Gordon to help him, dying as Batman leaps through the windowed roof of the building. The cops and Batman quickly realized that the Claridge murder was a distraction while the Joker had released all of the inmates from the Williams Medical Center, a facility that housed the criminally insane while Arkham was being prepared. 6 of these deranged killers were parading around the city, opening fire and murdering civilians across the town, leaving 10 other escaped inmates the Joker had retained under his control. While Batman subdues them, Gordon goes through a walkthrough of how Joker had released the men, blowing the doors in with C4 explosives and casually walking past the guard station, spraying them down with a machine gun. He then marches directly into the psychotic ward, shoots an orderly in the head, and throws a bag full of machine guns into the center of the room, telling the inmates to come with him and have some fun. Batman returns to Wayne Manor, unwilling to sleep until he has analyzed the poison from the bodies of the reporter and Claridge. And while he enters the samples into his computer, Joker comes across the screen, broadcasting once again to all of Gotham City over the airwaves. Joker mocks Gordon for not being able to stop the murder and laughs about the killing spree he and his insane henchmen had gone on the previous night, announcing that the next selected murder would be local millionaire Jay Wilde, with the rest of the night's entertainment being a surprise. Gordon and the GCPD attempt to create a defense at Wilde's home, with every cop in Gotham either guarding him with gas masks or patrolling the streets to prevent what had happened the night before from happening again. Right at midnight, a news helicopter that had been circling Wilde's home crashes into the front yard, creating chaos among the police as Joker simultaneously cuts the house's power, strolling in a cloud of smoke wearing night vision goggles and opening fire while laughing maniacally. Batman, who had been waiting for Joker's arrival, quickly throws a flashbang into the room, knowing that the Joker would be wearing night vision goggles and be more affected by the blast. Batman tackles the Joker and fights with him before bringing him down with a roped batarang, and Joker laughs up at him as Batman holds him down. Batman hears Wilde laughing crazily in the other room, and Joker takes advantage of the distraction to smash his head back into Batman's face, shooting at him and leaping out of the window, grabbing onto another helicopter he has his men piloting, and escaping with his target successfully murdered by a laced bullet he had fired before Batman threw the flashbang, though Batman had managed to stick a tracer on him while he had him pinned down. Batman finds a link between the two high-profile murders, with Wilde and Claridge both investors on the board of Ace Chemical, and infiltrates the plant disguised as a reporter to look into it, finding an employee who had gotten splashed with a little bit of the chemicals in the plant and had patches of white on his skin. He finds out that another employee had his arm hair turned green from exposure to the same chemicals, and Batman wonders if it really could have been as simple as the Red Hood he had confronted before turning into the Joker. Though he does note the differences between them. Red Hood had almost certainly been more than one person under the hood and never killed anyone, with the Joker murdering constantly. Alfred contacts Batman and lets him know that his tracer had finally sent out a signal, and Batman finds it in an abandoned survey building full of maps of Gotham's sewers and aqueducts, leading him to follow his earlier hunch to check the sewers for the Joker. Batman finds nothing and continues to work on an antitoxin for the Joker's poison, wondering if the Joker's poem was correct and if he planned to kill everyone in the city. Batman thinks to himself that he had prepared for killers, muggers, and rapists, but that he had never imagined something like the Joker could exist. While he's thinking, the Joker makes yet another TV announcement declaring that he's going for a twofer this time. Both Judge Thomas Lake and Bruce Wayne were tonight's chosen targets, which confuses Batman, wondering if the Joker is just picking random people. That night, the GCPD split up between Wayne Manor and Judge Lake's home, and to get away from the police in order to operate as Batman, Bruce injects himself with a non-lethal dose of the Joker's poison, intending to have Alfred inject him with the antitoxin and drive him away. As he does this, a car full of masked Joker henchmen attack the Judge's home, with Gordon and the GCPD stuck in a massive firefight. It takes multiple police officers to subdue the laughing Bruce Wayne, and as Alfred injects him with the antidote, Bruce notices how insane his thoughts have become, briefly thinking that Alfred was to blame for this and that he would kill him, and then seeing a green-tinted vision of his parents' murder, blaming the entire city for not helping them, and thinking that he'll kill them all. The vision ceases as Alfred slaps Bruce awake, having administered the antitoxin and driven him away from the manor in an ambulance, which was currently under fire from Joker's henchmen. Batman suits up and springs from the ambulance, telling Alfred he knows what the Joker's plan is, that he had seen inside of his head while on the poison, and fights through all of the henchmen, taking a police motorcycle and flooring it towards the Gotham reservoir. Batman fights his way through Joker's remaining men at the reservoir, knowing that although the Joker is a mad genius, his paranoid hate of everyone and everything was all that he knows. Having realized that the Joker was planning on poisoning Gotham's water supply and killing the entire city after having gotten personal revenge on the Ace Chemical board. Batman confronts Joker, who has his hands on the lever to release the viaduct and poison the water supply, and to stop him, Batman blows up the viaduct with an explosive he had managed to place on the way, which Joker points out will cut off all water to Gotham City and cripple them for weeks, which Batman points out is better than them being dead. Joker says that Batman ruined everything and attacks him with a hammer, hitting him in the face and almost knocking him into the poisoned water. Batman grabs Joker's arm and holds him out over the water, thinking to himself that it would be so easy to just let him fall, but realizes that he can't, throwing the Joker onto the ground instead. Joker says he's disappointed and swings the hammer again, with Batman mercilessly beating him into submission. Joker is locked away in Arkham Asylum, and Batman meets with Gordon after a few weeks, saying that if Joker really was the Red Hood, that Batman had played a part in his creation, and Gordon says that Batman didn't put the hood on his head or the gun in his hand, and deserved gratitude for saving the entire city from a madman. Batman asks about the giant spotlight next to Gordon on the rooftop, and Gordon turns the bat signal on for the first time, thinking that in a world with men like the Joker out there, having his people look up to a symbol of hope is a small victory, and he'll take it. And that wraps up Batman the Man Who Laughs, a really solid Joker story which tightly fit Batman's first battle with him into post-Zero Hour continuity, fitting it in perfectly with the Killing Joke and setting up the storied future with Batman and Joker's timeless conflict. The one criticism I have with this book is that it's all actually explained a little too well, taking out some of the mystery and mystique of the Joker, neatly defining exactly when and how he was made, with Batman managing to pretty easily follow the clues and deduce his motives. But overall, this is a classic Batman tale and a worthy addition to his mythos. So at the time of this video, we are nearing 20,000 subscribers, and to celebrate this milestone and give something back to you guys, I will be doing a 20k Q&A video and a giveaway. So make sure to check out the update video I posted on that in the description box below, and submit any questions you'd like to see answered on the Q&A. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know what other stories you would like to see a comic history episode on. Subscribe to my channel and go check out my comic history playlist, which has a ton of great episodes on DC, Marvel, The Walking Dead, and more. If you'd like to commission an episode while helping to support my channel, you can commission any story you want to see by checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/RNSentertainment. And you can also follow me on social media on Twitter at Roman_RNS or on Facebook at facebook.com/RNS Entertainment Channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.